What up with everybody? It's your boy MC Inspires Black Superman, Mr. Health and Wealth, and I want to share a quick message with you. Man, I was listening to one of my mentors, Mr. George Palaio, and he was just talking about the process of the mind and something that I personally experienced myself in my own thoughts and my own processing, and you may be able to relate as well. And I want to share it with you. He said, the more you think, the more you doubt. The more you doubt, the less you do. And the less you do, the more you think. And the more you think, the more you doubt. And the more you doubt, the less you do. And the less you do, the more you think. So you see where I'm going with this, right? But here's the reality of it. I fall into that myself in some of my most challenging, rock bottom, lowest, darkest moments where you feel like you want to be the best. You feel like you want to succeed. You feel like you want to go far. And everything you do doesn't seem to be working. Every person you talk to, every business deal you try to cut, every time you try to talk to your partner, every time you try to build a relationship with your kids, no matter what you do, it seems that everything's not working. So what do? You start thinking. You start overthinking, and your mind just gets cluttered with all your thoughts, a lot of them unnecessary, which lead to what? Which leads to doubt. And that doubt really starts to creep in. And once that doubt starts to creep in deep into your spirit, guess what you do? You start to do less. And when you do less, guess what happens? You start to think more. And so I thought to myself, I said, why does that happen? And as I've been really digging into the word lately and really digging into Proverbs, one challenge that I face, and you may be able to relate to as well, is when you face your darkest challenges and your darkest moments, and you go to God and you say, God, why do I feel like you're not with me right now? Why do I feel like I'm doing this on my own? And what is that causing? You to think, you to doubt, for you to do less because you feel like you've been abandoned. And when I felt that recently, I said to myself, what does this remind me of? It reminds me of the poem Footprints. And let me read it to you. It said, one night I dreamed a dream. As I was walking along the beach with my Lord, across the dark sky flashed scenes from my life. For each scene, I noticed two sets of footprints in the sand. One belonged to me and one to my Lord. After the last scene of my life flashed before me, I looked back at the footprints in the sand. I noticed that many times along the path of my life, especially at my very lowest and saddest times, there was only one set of footprints. This really troubled me, so I asked the Lord about it. Lord, you said, once I decided to follow you, you'd walk with me all the way. But I noticed that during the saddest and most troublesome times of my life, there was only one set of footprints. I don't understand why, when I needed you the most, you would leave me. He whispered, my precious child, Mark Charles Cooks, I love you and I will never leave you. Never ever during your trials and testings, when you saw only one set of footprints, it was then that I carried you. And I reminded myself, every time I was at my lowest, every time I faced my biggest challenge, guess what? He was the one carrying me the whole time. He was the one guiding my every footstep. He was the one protecting me and guiding every step of the way. No matter how low I got, no matter how challenging life got, it was always one set of footprints. So I do not know who this is for. I do not know who this was meant to encourage. I don't. But I'll tell you this. God is always lifting you up. As you start to overthink, as you start to really dig deep and you say, God, I'm faced with a challenge right now. I'm faced with a moment where my heart is hurt, it's sad, and I feel abandoned. I'm just going to tell you, good and faithful servant, he's lifting you up and he's guiding you the whole way. Do not overthink, because you do not want to doubt what the Lord has for you. You do not want to give up, and you do not want to stop moving forward. You do not want to do less. You want to just put your faith in him, and you want to keep pressing forward. And that's my word of encouragement for you. So if you find value in this message and you know somebody can find peace in this message, please share. Share it without as many people as you can. And just remember, God got you, because at the end of the day, there is one set of footprints, and that's the Lord Jesus Christ. You guys take care.